legionaries! Today's the 9th Bumper Street Fedpass on
It is the summer of August 9th, 378 AD. Across the fertile plains of Thrace, in the southeastern Balkans, the fate of the Eastern Roman Empire is about to be decided. At the head of a battle-hardened Roman army marches Emperor Valens, ruler of the Eastern Roman Empire. His soldiers are veterans, men shaped by years of brutal frontier warfare in the East. Their enemy is elusive, determined, and dangerous, the Goths. 2 years earlier, in 376 AD, two Gothic tribes, the Thervingi and the Gruthungi, had fled across the Danube River, escaping the terrifying advance of the Huns. Desperate and homeless, they sought refuge within Roman territory. Emperor Valens granted them asylum, expecting them to become loyal farmers and soldiers of the empire. But Roman corruption turned mercy into catastrophe. Officials starved the refugees, extorted them, and even sold Gothic families into slavery. Hunger and humiliation soon turned into rage. Under the leadership of the charismatic and cunning Fritigern, the Goths rose in rebellion. By 378 AD, Gothic warbands roamed Thrace unchecked, burning villas, sacking towns, and humiliating Roman authority. Valens, eager for glory and jealous of his nephew Gratian's victories in the west, refused to wait for reinforcements. He wanted victory for himself, and he wanted it quickly. Roman scouts reported that Fritigern's army was camped near Adrianople, modern-day Edirne, Turkey. Valens believed the Goths were fewer in number than his own force of 15,000 to 20,000 men. His generals urged caution. The feared Gothic cavalry, led by Alatheus and Saphrax, had not yet been located. Valens ignored the warning. The Roman army marched uphill under the burning summer sun, weighed down by armor and supplies. By mid-afternoon, they reached the Gothic wagon laager, a massive defensive circle of wagons protecting the enemy camp. The Romans were exhausted, dehydrated, and out of formation. Sensing Roman weakness, Fritigern sent envoys offering peace. It was a deception. He needed time. His cavalry had not yet returned. As negotiations dragged on, the Goths set the surrounding fields on fire. Thick smoke rolled across the battlefield, intensifying Roman exhaustion and preventing an organized advance. The trap was closing. Then, disaster struck. Without orders, the Roman cavalry on the right flank suddenly charged forward. Why they attacked remains unclear. Perhaps ambition, perhaps confusion, but the charge failed. The Gothic infantry held firm, and the Roman cavalry was repulsed. Moments later, the true nightmare arrived. The Gothic and Alan cavalry returned to the field, smashing into the Roman right flank. Panic spread. Some Roman cavalry fled. Others fought desperately. The right flank began to crumble. Valens had no choice. He ordered the rest of his army forward. The Roman infantry smashed into the Gothic lines at the center, pushing them back with sheer discipline and weight. For a moment, victory seemed possible. On the Roman left, cavalry even drove the Goths back toward their wagon camp. But gaps on the Roman right allowed Gothic infantry to pour into the Roman center. The legions were now fighting on multiple fronts. Fritigern seized the moment. Gothic and Alan cavalry wheeled around and struck the Roman left flank with devastating force. Momentum shifted. The Roman left collapsed. The Gothic cavalry then charged into the rear of the Roman center. The Roman army was fully encircled. Surrounded and trapped, Roman soldiers fought like cornered beasts, cutting down enemies in desperate fury. But even elite veterans cannot survive total encirclement. As escape routes vanished, panic took hold. Many Romans dropped their weapons and fled. The emperor himself was left behind. Emperor Valens disappeared into the chaos. His body was never found. Some accounts claim he died anonymously on the battlefield. Others say he hid in a peasant's cottage, which was burned by the enemy, killing him inside. The truth remains unknown. By nightfall, the slaughter ended. Of nearly 20,000 Roman soldiers, only a third survived. The Eastern Roman field army was annihilated. The Battle of Adrianople was one of the greatest disasters in Roman history. For the first time in centuries, a Roman emperor had been killed in battle by barbarian forces. Roman military dominance was broken. Within a generation, the descendants of these same Goths would march into Italy and sack Rome itself in 410 AD. Adrianople marked the beginning of the end. If you enjoyed this deep dive into ancient history and decisive battles that shaped the world, subscribe to the channel for more cinematic and detailed historical videos, and let me know in the comments which battle or empire should we explore next.